Hello and welcome back. I've decided to come out today local, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab some long exposure images and then I'm going to take you back and we'll process them. So at the moment I've set up to take a 4-minute exposure, so that means I need to get the settings first of all on 1/4 of a second, a quarter of a second exposure. Then I put my 10 stop on, and then that means it's good. Well, it's just over a 4-minute exposure actually. It's about 4 minutes 15, something like that. So I've set that to actually 250 seconds. The reason why I'm going for a longer exposure, because of the clouds are really dramatic but moving quite slowly. Then what I'm going to do is reverse it, do a 2-minute and then 1 minute, and see what the difference is, see which one I like, and then we'll edit one of the shots. So that's the plan. It's quite simple. So the subject I'm shooting today is the lone barn in the field, not far from where I live. Again, the dramatic skies we have just suits this shot. They've not long cropped the field. The field's now soil brown, but you know what? I think sometimes it works. And I think on this occasion it's tidy, it's clean enough, hopefully. And then we've got this dramatic sky. That is the plan. So let me see how I'm getting on with this exposure, how long it is, how long I've got left. We'll have a look at it. Probably just one or two things, make sure it's sharp, etc, etc. The other thing I will do before I go, I will take one normal exposure, one fast exposure, I should say, just in case I get any camera movement, anything like that, and I can blend them in together and use the sky from one and the foreground from the other. I've got one subject in the image, it's the barn, focus on the barn. That's simple. So I've taken my first exposure. The problem I've got is the light's very fleeting, so even though I'm setting the exposure to what it is now, if that light changes, if it goes darker, the shot's a little bit dark, or a little bit light. So what I'm actually doing now is the last shot was a little bit dark, so I'm just gonna try and overexpose by about half a stop, because looking at it, it's not going to change now. If anything, that light's going to be more controlled and it's a little bit darker than when I actually set it. So that's something to take in mind. 4 minutes is a long time with these clouds moving over for the exposure to change as well. Because it's still quite a bright day, middle of the day, I've had to actually put my 3 stop on and my 6 stop on before I get to a quarter of a second, and then put the 10 stop on to get the 4-minute exposure. I've done all them steps, so I'll just recap what I've done. I've done the 4-minute exposure at about 250 seconds, just over 4 minutes. Then I've done a 2-minute exposure, so I get it to 1/8 of a second, 10 stop on. That gives me a 2-minute. Then I've done a 1-minute exposure by getting the settings to a 15th of a second, give me 1 minute. Then I'm just taking a normal exposure, let's say, which at the moment is giving me 1/800th of a second. But what I'm going to do is, the light is just coming up now, and I'm going to see if it changes, if I can get a bit of light on the subject on the ground, and I might blend them together. The sky's looking moody and dark as well at the same time as this light. I think it's going to come through. It looks like it's coming up the field here, as you probably see. Certainly travelling this way, so there's no reason in a minute we should get light on the subject. That could make for even better shot. And then what I would do is blend the foreground or the land with the sky. Here's the light coming up. You could probably see it yourself coming just here. And yeah, just waiting for that little light on the foreground can really enhance the image. I do see it in that letterbox format. I put the subject on the bottom right hand side because it points from right to left. So I think that works a lot better. It doesn't work as well if I put it on the left hand side. But there we go. I'm going to grab a couple more of those while the light's changed on it. And we'll head back to the office and we'll go and process it. So in the same field, there's a lone tree. And I couldn't resist just driving down the road, coming to the other pull-in and just grabbing this lone tree. And I think it's going to work. I've tried a minute exposure and I think I can get away with 2 minutes because the tree, there's no movement in the tree. It's really still. And if there was movement in the tree, I would take another shot and blend it and all this, that and the other, and it's quite difficult. But because of the type of day it is, I'm going to get away with it. So I've gone for a 1 minute and a 2 minute. Changed the settings from 1 to 2, done it quite quickly. I put the tree on the right hand side because the shadow of the tree is pointing from right to left and the tree bends over from right to left as well, so it looks better on the right hand side. That's it. Let's get back and see what we can do with these images. Obviously, I'm back in the office and I've had a little look at all the 3 different exposures, the 2 minute, the 1 minute and the 4 minute. So what I've actually done is applied the same settings to each of the images, and we'll have a look at them now and see which ones we prefer. So the first image we're looking at here is the 4 minute exposure, or 250-second exposure I should say. And we've got a nice little bit of mood in the cloud there, so everything's quite nice. The next shot is the 2 minute exposure, which doesn't look much different to the 4 minute. Like, just flick back. The only thing I would say with the 4 minute one, the clouds in the bottom of the image are probably a little bit more appealing, but in the main, not a lot of difference besides where the cloud or the dark clouds are. I'm going to come back to that in a second. The last shot is at a minute exposure, 60 seconds. Now, for me, this one doesn't work, but the other 2 do. It's just a little bit much too detailed because the clouds were moving quite slow. I needed that longer exposure, so it just shows. But again, in a different situation, that would probably work better. I'll just show you the image of the tree that I took. This is the initial image here with some adjustments. This one was shot at 60 seconds, 1 minute. And the reason why I did that, because of movement in the tree. There is still a little bit of movement in the tree. I don't mind that, but I wish I actually took another image, a lot faster shutter speed, just to grab that tree still. I may have had that option of blending, but obviously I didn't do that. I edited the image and I created this shot from that, cropped it, etc., and changed 1 or 2 things. I really like this composition. What I'll do with that is I'll edit that in my members area and put the video up there. So if you're interested, that will be up at some point. So if you're interested in the members area, it's £2 a month, £1.99 a month actually. It's not even a coffee, is it? It's half a coffee nowadays, and even though I'm a tea drinker. So yeah, if you're interested in anything like that, how I did it, etc., my thoughts on it, please come and join us in the members area. Okay, let's get back to the different exposures of the barn. What I was thinking of was actually blending these 2 images together, because I like the darkness in the sky on the right of this one and the darkness in the sky in this one. So like I say, I've done the edits, up the shadows, etc. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to select both these images, right click, edit in, open in Photoshop as layers. Okay, so before I blend those 2 images, there's something else I wanted to point out. And if you remember, I took some images of the fleeting light coming through. Now, I actually prefer that little bit of light on the foreground there. If we're just scrolling through the images, and it's the one of the where the light's catching the barn. So what I'm actually going to do is blend 3 images together. So if I select that image that I need, the other 2 images, the 4-minute exposure and the 2-minute exposure, right click, edit in, open as layers in Photoshop. That will now open so we'll just wait for them 3 layers to load. They've loaded now, and I'll just explain what I'm going to do very quickly before I actually blend it. So the first layer, I like the sky and the darkness in this top right hand corner. Switch that layer off. Then I like the darkness of the sky in the left hand corner, the other one in the right hand corner. And then I'm going to use the foreground of this one because it's a little bit brighter and I can manipulate it a little bit more to how I want it to look. So we select all 3 layers, hold down the control and select the 3 layers, go to edit, auto align, and auto align those layers. Not worried about the crop yet, we'll sort that out at a later date. The next thing I'm going to do is actually bring the bottom layer to the top so I can see it. And I'm going to select sky. Actually, the first thing I'm going to do is switch those 2 layers off. I'm just going to remove these bushes to make the image more even, because I've removed them in the other images. So we'll just do that first. Okay, that's that done. So now I'm just going to drag it. Actually, what I'm going to do is select sky and just delete sky from that image. Fantastic. Select, deselect. So if I switch that other image on now, we've got the foreground of the first image and the sky of the second image, but I want to blend the third image in. So I'm going to click on that image, select a layer mask, grab my brush tool, it's at 100% opacity. I'm going to drop that down to about 40, and then I'm just going to paint in the sky. What that is doing is bringing the sky in from below, and it's making it more even. I'm just going to bring the opacity up a little bit more. That's it, just making it more even there. And that is the blend. It's so easy to blend. I didn't really have to choose to blend the foreground, but I'm going to use that now to finish in Lightroom. So we'll literally keep it as is, and then we'll get it into Lightroom and we'll adjust it. Okay, so obviously the first thing I want to do is just going to crop it to how I want it. And we'll just take the edges away first, like so. Something like that, and just add that crop. What I do like about that, if I just zoom out, how dramatic the image looks, and how that barn is so alone, all in the middle of nowhere, so it looks fantastic. But we've also got this nice strip of light coming through. What I do want is to make the field more contrasted, more depth in this field. I'm going to do that with light and shadows. So a few masking tools. First of all, a grad, and I'm going to follow that line of the field and then just drop the exposure down on that. I'm going to grab a radial grad and I'm going to bring it in from this side. Again, try and keep the angle of the field, something like that. Just bring a little light in there like so. I'm going to do the same on this side, just gently, as if them clouds are rolling through and just letting the light in like so. Fantastic. We're going to put another radial filter in here. We'll just darken that down a bit, and it's just giving a little bit more depth to the image. Again, I'm going to select a little rounder one here. And I think that alone is just give it loads more depth. So I'm quite happy with that. The only thing I do want to do, the light is actually coming in from this back side just slightly, even though we've got this dirty bit cloud. So I want to just lighten up the back of the barn. So if I select object, paint over the back of the barn, I'm hoping it's just because I'm going to select that one wall, we'll see, and it has done perfectly. So what I can do with that is just lift that up a little bit like so. I'm loving that. Now I'm going to concentrate on the sky. Again, we'll go for a radial grad, bring it down to the dark area, make it even more moody, add another grad over the top of that, not quite as far down, drag the exposure down again, and one more like so. The only other thing I will do is I'll actually just sharpen the barn. And then the other thing I would do as well is process it for a black and white as well, which will be slightly different. I've enjoyed this little hour out in the field and then back in the office to do a little bit of editing. Thanks for watching. Don't forget my members area. So if you're interested in anything like this, it's just for you. Okay, thanks again. See you soon.